The sneaker of 2023 is back in a brand new color, but is it as good as the original? Let's find out. Inside this box is the follow-up to the 2023 classic, the Nike SB Air Jordan 4s. And as you can see, right from the get-go, the box is almost identical to what you have on the 2023 pair. It comes in sort of this glossy cream finish. You've got a Jumpman with the flight text on top in silver, or I guess gray. And that's kind of the same theme around the rest of the box. You've got the Jumpman logo on the back, also with the Nike SB branding underneath it in gray. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now on the front, you've got a size tag. I grabbed a size 9. I actually picked this up from Bird Kick, so I've been buying a lot of sneakers from recently, so shout out to him. But I got a size 9, and the official colorway of this shoe is Summit White, White Navy, and the official name is Air Jordan 4 Retro SP. There's nothing about it being an SB actually on the tag, which is kind of surprising. But let's pop the top of this box, see what they look like in person. Now, I've already seen these. I'm not gonna lie, I filmed B-roll of them already, so I've already pulled these out of the box. I guess this is kind of just to show you guys what you get inside the box, but if you were wondering, you get some speckle print paper right here, which is kind of cool. And then you get to the sneakers themselves. So here we go. The Air Jordan 4 Nike SBs in navy. These are super, super clean. I really love the way that these look. Now the question is, are these as good as the original? Well, I guess we'll find out as we go through the review, but just to give you an idea of what the originals look like next to the new pair, here we go. Here's the original, the 2023 pine green version. As you can see, I've worn this pair a lot as it started to yellow and has dirt all over it. I probably should use some APTHCRY cleaning wipes on it to get rid of some of this dirt. But I mean, let me know in the comment section down below which colorway you like better so far. I mean, I think they're both really similar. There's a lot of similarities throughout the sneaker. I mean, a lot of similarities. Right off the jump, it's hard for me to decide. I think they're both great. I really like the blue. I really like the green. If the red one comes out, I'm probably gonna like that one too. It's kind of hard to mess up this sneaker. Like, it's kind of hard to throw on a color in these accent areas and it not look good. They could throw on yellow or brown or anything like that and I think it would still pop. So I don't know. I like them both. Nike SB Air Jordan 4 is essentially an internal collaboration between two of Nike's largest divisions, Jordan Brand and Nike SB. Both brands have storied histories and coming together to create a sneaker collaboration is not something we see them do that often. Now with that said, it has happened a few times and that collaboration has produced pairs like the Lance Mountains in 2014, the LA to Chicago's in 2019, the Eric Costin Nike SB Air Jordan 1 lows, and of course, the 2023 Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Pine Greens. This collaboration is truly a unique blend of skateboarding and basketball cultures and is a product of the amazing legacy of Nike legend Sandy Bodecker. For those of you who aren't familiar with Sandy, he was the reason that Nike SB is what it is today. Sandy Bodecker joined Nike back in 1982 and started working in the testing and development department. He later transitioned over to leading Nike's soccer division and eventually in the early 2000s was tasked with bringing Nike's struggling skateboarding division back to life. In 2002, Nike launched SB and introduced the Nike SB Dunk, which became an instant classic. Sandy was not only instrumental in the creation of the silhouette, but also in creating some of the most iconic SB Dunk collaborations of all time. Pairs like the Staple Pigeons, Supremes, Stussies, Futuras, and more were brought to life under the leadership of Sandy Bodecker. The Nike SB Dunk, as the name would suggest, was based off of the classic Nike basketball sneaker, the Dunk. It was the first true intersection of the two sports and paved the way for future basketball skateboarding silhouettes like the Nike SB Air Jordan 4s. Unfortunately, Sandy Bodecker passed away in 2018, but the impact he made on skateboarding and sneaker culture is absolutely undeniable. In a lot of ways, I think the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 is a love letter to his legacy as it continues to push the sport of skateboarding into the spotlight. Now, is it a good skateboarding shoe? Well, I'd recommend checking out Rose Anvil's video on it, which I'll link in the description below. TLDR, not really any better than a standard pair of 4s, but that's neither here nor there. In today's review, we're gonna take an on-foot look at the materials and colors that make up the new Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Navy and determine whether this shoe is a worthy follow-up to the wildly popular pine greens from 2023. The Nike SB Air Jordan 4 Navy is slated to release on March 18th for a retail price of $225, which is actually the same price as the original. Now, it did already have a very limited drop at All-Star Weekend in San Francisco, but its wider release should be in March and most likely at skateboarding shops and hopefully on the sneakers app. Of course, if you want to grab a pair of these early, I've made sure to link them through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen and also through the links in the description below. If you guys want to see me review stuff besides sneakers, make sure to check out my tech channel. It's linked in the description below. We just hit 100,000 subscribers. Seriously, I'd love it if you guys checked it out. But hey, if you don't care about tech, back to the sneakers. But now let's throw these heaters on feeders. See how they fit. That was dumb. All right, so I've got some new shoes to show you. I want to get your opinion, and I also want to compare them to an old pair of shoes and also see what you think. So here they are, the Nike SB Air Jordan 4s in the navy color. Nice. Yeah, this is the one that dropped in 2023. It's the same shoe, but just in a slightly different color scheme or colorway. Which one do you prefer out of the two, if you had to pick new or old?
They're just so, it's just like two totally different things to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I tend to lean towards like a more like muted blue. It just goes with more of my things.
Gotcha. Okay.
It doesn't mean I don't like a green either.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Two different occasions.
Yeah, that's what I
we'll
mean.
say.
Two different occasions.
Fair enough. Okay, what would you give these guys out of 10?
I mean, I like this shoe. 7.
Okay. Well, it actually matches perfectly with the upcoming Apothecary Mountaineering collection, which actually by the time this video drops might already be live. But there should still be some sizes available, pairs available if you guys want to grab them. Apothecary.com. But let me throw these guys on feet really quick, see how they fit. All right, so on feet, I mean, probably exactly what you expected. They feel just like the other pair of Nike SB Air Jordan 4s or any other pair of Air Jordan 4s. To be fair though, the SBs are more comfortable, in my opinion, than regular 4s. But they look good. I think they look great. How do you feel? Full blue fit.
Yeah, nice. And you're right, they look good with the socks.
Oh yeah, they do, right? They look great with it. Oh, sock's a little wrinkly. There we go. Look at that. That's a vibe, as they say. Yeah, I feel it. I really feel it. Again, true to size, seriously. Air Jordan 4s, they all kind of fit the same, even the SB variant. So if you guys want to grab a pair of these, grab what you usually grab in 4s. You should be good to go. What'd you give it again, 7.5?
A 7. I mean, I'd go 7.5.
Oh, wow. A little tougher on these than the breads that we talked about a couple days ago.
Well, I mean, those are breads. Everyone likes those.
I mean, everyone likes these too. These are more hype than those.
Well, you know I don't care about the hype.
That's true, you don't care about the hype, that's fair.
It's just my personal opinion.
Fair enough. Okay, well cool. Now that we've got the wife's opinion and the sizing advice, let's head back to the studio. Getting into the materials and starting off around the toe, you've got this hairy gray suede mudguard. The reason that they use suede instead of leather on this skateboarding model is not just for looks, but also because suede is very resistant to scuffing and abrasion, which is important when you're skateboarding, especially when you're doing those kick flips and flip tricks and ollies and things like that. Moving up from the suede, you've got this lightly tumbled white leather, which according to Rosanville, if you check out his video, like I mentioned before, is all actually real leather. On regular pairs of Air Jordan 4s, it's mixed in with synthetic leather, but on this shoe, at least the Nike SB Pine Greens, is all real leather, which is kind of cool. Moving up further on the shoe, you've got more white leather on the eye stays, and weaving through the eyelets, you've got these flat white laces. Now, as you guys saw when I unboxed this pair of shoes, there is no other set of laces that comes inside the box, just like the original SBs, which is not really a problem. I don't think I'd want navy laces on this shoe, but hey, if you want to switch out your laces, you can. You can grab them places for not that much money. Underneath the laces, you've got your classic Air Jordan 4 netting on the bottom half of the tongue, and at the top of the tongue, you've got more of that lightly tumbled white leather with a Jordan flight patch, and you've got this red Jumpman embroidered in the center. The sock liner on the back of the tongue comes in a matching navy color with the Air Jordan patch upside down, because people used to flip their tongues out like this when they wore them. That's back in the 80s and 90s, not something that people do nowadays. And then around the heel, the sock liner switches to white and is also pretty nicely padded. Then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got this red insole with the Nike SB branding printed on the heel in white. Now, apparently one of the changes between the regular Air Jordan 4s and the SB Air Jordan 4s is that the insole is a little bit softer. Apparently it's a Dream Cell insole, which is a tad softer and gives you a bit more cushion than a regular insole, but not much. And again, as we talked about in the on-foot portion of the video, the shoe does fit true to size, just like every other pair of Air Jordan 4s. Moving back in the shoe to the midfoot, you've got more of this white, lightly tumbled leather, and then of course your netting detail in the center. And then just behind that, you've got the classic Air Jordan 4 wing, but like the original SB4s, it comes in a much more flexible, rubbery-like material. Actually, all of the original TPU hits on this shoe, like these eyelets towards the bottom of the sneaker, of course the wings, and the heel tab, have all changed to a softer, rubbery-like material to increase longevity and durability while skateboarding. It also is kind of fun flick in the bag. Not that that's important, but you know, it's kind of cool. I don't know what I'm talking about. Moving around to the heel, you've got that rubbery heel tab that I was just talking about in matching navy. And then in the center of the heel tab, you've got your fire Nike SB branding. I love that hit so much. I know it's a small detail, but I just love it. It really gives this shoe a unique touch that lets everyone know that you're rocking a collaboration. And I know it gets a little bit hypey, but I think I've learned as I've gotten older, maybe I'm just a hype beast. I'm not gonna deny it. I might be a hype beast. I don't know what else to say. I just really like that, and I think it looks cool. Then moving down to the midsole, you've got this sort of satin, or I guess almost matte navy accent on the top half of the midsole towards the forefoot and wrapping around the heel. And then just beneath the navy, you've got your white hit that wraps all the way around the heel. Of course, you've got your visible air unit in the heel, which interestingly enough comes with red pillars that give the shoe a very subtle accent. I think that's actually the same color that they use on the original SBs. It looks like it is, although my air bubble is very foggy, but I think they're both red, at least from what I can tell. One of the major changes on the Nike SB Air Jordan 4 versus the regular 4 is actually the removal of the air unit in the forefoot. In addition to that, which may or may not be true, it just feels that way underfoot, it seems like the foam that they use in the midsole is ever so slightly softer. Now, I think that's for impact protection, and the fact that they remove the air unit in the forefoot should give you some more board feel, although the shoe is not gonna give you much board feel regardless. But I honestly think those two things make this the most comfortable pair of Air Jordan 4s out there. Now, I know some people dispute that and some people don't agree, but I think these are the most comfortable pair. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree, if you have the original Nike SB4s. Now, no 4s in general are that comfortable, but these ones, side by side to a regular pair of 4s, I like them better. Then on the bottom of the shoe, you've got a white rubber outsole accented by gum hits on the toe and on the heel, and of course your red Nike branding in the midfoot. I'm a huge fan of this Nike SB Air Jordan 4. I think the collaboration is incredibly well thought out and incredibly well put together, and while according to some skaters it may not be a great skate shoe, I do think that the changes have given it some personality that make it one of the more interesting releases of the year. Is it as good as the original? Well, it all depends on you. Do you prefer blue or green? I think in a lot of ways it kind of looks like a darker version of the military blue 4s. And the reason I like the pine green so much is because there just isn't a lot of green 4s. So while I really like this navy version, it just doesn't seem as unique as the original. Fit and material wise, it feels just like the originals. In fact, I think it's basically exactly the same as the originals. It's just a slight color variation, and honestly, I'm okay with that. It gives people who missed out on the original release a chance to grab a very similar release, and I'm really stoked on it even though it's similar. I definitely think it's one of the better Jordan releases of the year and one of the most hyped. But hey, if you made it to this point in the video, let me know which one of the Nike SB Air Jordan 4s you prefer. Do you prefer the navies? Do you prefer the pine greens? And if you do prefer the navies, are you planning to grab a pair when they drop in March? So let me know all those thoughts in the comment section down below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.